just watched The Final Wish.
Yeah, we did.
Again, written by the writer and creator of Final Destination. It is a wish gone wrong story movie.
The movie gone wrong.
Similar to The Monkey's Paw.
Maybe.
So what do we think?
Where are we starting?
There's not a lot of trivia available for this movie. Normally
Okay.
we would do trivia right now. The trivia I did have, the main house in this film is the same house from Annabelle Creation.
Okay.
Kind of a cool tidbit.
I guess.
The Could you be any more cynical?
I told you I got my sassy pants on at the beginning of this podcast, and then I just watched this movie.
You just watched a movie and had what, 2 more beers, and now it's now the Santy Pass filter is off.
Oh yeah,
We're
absolutely.
dropping the pantyhose.
Oh yeah, we are.
All right. So, another couple things. A lot of the people involved in this movie all have worked together at some point. So Tony Todd makes an appearance, and he's worked with this writer before because he's in all the Final Destinations. Gosh, what's her name? The actress from Lynn Shay from Insidious and a bunch of other horror movies, but the Insidious series, particularly, she's also worked with a lot of the different creative people on different horror movies, and it's just kind of an amalgamation of like people that have worked together before, and that's always kind of a fun thing. Like you're getting people that you know. It's kind of like getting your friends together and making a movie. So that's always a fun thing.
Except for in this case.
There was no fun.
You would have thought they warned each other. Hey. Maybe not.
Well, let's start off with start off with how this movie looks. Well, no. Let's start off with what happened. What happened in the movie?
What happened? So I'll try to take this. I'll do my best. So a guy is trying to kind of work out of his lot in life, so to speak. We kind of find him in a big city. Come to find out it's Chicago. He's trying to be kind of a big shot lawyer. Turns down. Come to find out he's from kind of maybe lower middle class means.
Yeah.
Small town, Midwest city. I think it's supposed to take place in Ohio. Finds out his dad has passed away. It's
very similar to the setup for Elizabethtown.
Yeah, very similar. But that movie and this movie,
I would have preferred Topher Grace
I think
In this movie.
I think this.
It's Topher Grace
No,
and
it's
Elizabethtown.
I think you mean Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, that's okay.
What am I thinking of?
Spider-Man 3.
Yep.
No, but I'll take it.
Okay. So he kind of not inherits the estate, but he is responsible for helping his mom.
Yeah, his mom's kind of elderly. It's Lynn
Yeah.
Shay. She's kind of playing like the older woman mom. I mean, I don't want to draw too many like direct correlations, but it feels like if my father passed away, my mom is probably getting close to the age of this character and like what it would be. My parents live in Kentucky in this tiny little house. It'd be like me going back down to Kentucky and like sorting through this process.
And really taking the onus on yourself because of the age and the coping of losing kind of the lifelong partner thing. And
she has her whole own grief cycle that she's working through.
Absolutely. And that in of itself can bring its own nuances. But I feel like the explanation through this movie is dicey at best, but the main character starts making wishes, I would say really before he understands
Way before.
what he has inherited.
Right.
So it's and like some of them are just like knee-jerk wishes that all of a sudden
He never actually really wishes until the
very
last one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a couple times where he might use the word wish, but I think it's more like, and I think that might be where the plot starts to fall apart, is like what's a wish, and what's not a wish. That's a very hard phrase to say.
What's a wish and what's not a wish, especially if you're a witch. So
Which?
well, yeah, sandwich.
God. So that's kind of where the plot starts to fall apart, is because like it kind of seems like it's just making his wants and desires happen, whether or not he's saying, I wish this, you know? But then at the end, it kind of seems like he has to say, I wish, and then proceed with a wish for it to count.
I think it's really just more for viewer's sake.
Yeah.
Like the first one, one of the first ones is he kind of has like a physical deformation on his face. And I think it's even neater. Maybe he uses the phrase "I wish," but like all of a sudden he inexplicably has this cosmetic surgery and he looks perfect. Like, oh, and like we were kind of blindsided by this.
But the bad stuff was, in order for him to have this plastic surgery and look all sexy and stuff, he had to get smoked by a car driven by one of his old friends.
Yeah, but that was going to happen anyway, let's be honest. So, because you look at me like his friend isn't an alcoholic going around and hitting people with his car. Like, we know he's kicked off the police force because of this kind of crap.
He said he wasn't drinking that night.
Oh, please, potato.
Like, all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to continue this plot. All of a sudden, it becomes a wish movie, and then he is able to use that power. He is wielding that power. It is a power unwieldable, though. So, he is wishing upon people, not understanding the circumstances that really go into these wishes.
Sure.
And we're left with, I don't know, weird Freudian relationships with moms and sons.
That was mess up.
And a lot of people dying, but not in ways that felt satisfactory. Like, I don't know. It was...
Yeah.
It's starting to unravel just as fast as it unraveled on screen. So that's all I got.
Yeah, so I think maybe one thing that I wanted more out of the movie was, because it was written by the guy who wrote Final Destination, and I'd kind of heard that they took that, similar approach to this story. I wanted more of the Rube Goldberg death scene, and we really only got like one.
Yeah.
And it was pretty piss poor.
Wait! You didn't ask what our favorite kill is. Do we not have our lineup?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Don't steal it. It's the only kill that really counts.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna end there. Then it was pretty piss poor. Okay?
It wasn't good
compared to what we've seen from
definitely
5 Final Destination movies and a coming reboot.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
So, yeah. How this movie looked, it looked like every single modern indie horror film that didn't have a great budget but had enough budget to spend some money on CGI. Okay. It wasn't... It didn't have any kind of cinematography that really stood out. There were a couple moments, I would say, where they did some weird... I felt like they did some weird things with faces. Like whenever... maybe... And it might have been something as simple as just like a fisheye or something, like a distorted lens. Like whenever the mom would like yell at the son, like she looked really... kind of weird and almost deformed, and that was kind of creepy. And then it happened to the son one time too, and I can't remember when it happened or why it happened. But
it happened both times that he yelled at himself in the mirror.
Yeah, I think that was it. And so that was kind of cool, just kind of distorting reality. Made the look a little more interesting. Do we have anything to say about the sound? I guess The separation of tracks as far as like surround sound and like the we use a 5.1 system, like that was well done. I mean, like door creaks in the surround sound channels like they're supposed to be. There was a couple like whispery moments where like the whispers would kind of circle all of the channels. Like that was done really well. At least that done how it should be for a movie made in 2019.
And I feel like that's kind of where mine would stop. I honestly couldn't tell you if there was a soundtrack to this or if there was a score.
Just the reoccurring song.
Yeah.
Which I've already forgotten what it is.
But yeah, I would say like especially if you were watching this with a system, like very enjoyable. Like I mean, I think it was
on your laptop by yourself with really good headphones.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 minutes into it. I was sitting by the back room speaker, and like the door creaked, and it felt like, and again, this is just the room that we're watching in. There's a door right behind me,
right,
and it felt like the door was opening. Great job. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Also, could have been done with the zero budget. All I'm saying.
Like, I mean, but.
It was well thought out.
Paying attention to it, sure. I mean, that's pretty important. Okay, so we'll do scare of the week first. And what's our scare of the week on this movie?
Oh, that's a good question.
I feel like the horror community in general, very broad general terms. I'm painting with the biggest of paintbrushes here, would say that like jump scares are bad.
Yep.
But I think all of us here can agree that like we like a good jump scare when it's earned, it comes at a good it comes at a good place.
You got to work at it.
Yep. And yeah, it's just it's a good one. It's hard to. It's almost like the old quote about like pornography. Like I don't know what it is, but. I know when I see it. Yep. I don't know I can't tell you what makes a good jump scare, but I know it when it happens.
Yeah.
And this film had a few different jump scares, and I wouldn't say any of them were good.
No, the first one that comes to mind is like the dog. And it wasn't even good.
Dogs aren't scary.
It was a sad attempt at a jump scare, and it was just bad.
It was done so poorly.
It was done so poorly. Where like we see the dog, it seems far away, and then all of a sudden the guy's on the ground. The dog seems right by his face. It's barking in his face.
And the dog's not connected to a line. He's on a leash, but the leash is just free.
Yeah.
So there's nothing keeping the dog. There's nothing about it that makes sense.
No.
Yeah.
I would say there were. I don't know if I would say it was a scare of the week.
We might have to just say like the scariest moment.
I was gonna say there are some unsettling views, where like when he first sees his dead dad dancing with his mom, and like we see and like they kind of do the weird like strobe cut.
Yeah.
So like the dad is like he
stutters.
Yes. And so like he's like looking at the son, then he opens his mouth, and then he like the next shot he is facing his mom, and then they go in for this kiss, but he's clearly dead and dirty and has like worms and stuff on him. Mm-hmm. It was unsettling.
It's good. I think that sequence had a kind of a Hellraiser-y feel.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, of her embracing him regardless of him clearly being rotting and disgusting looking. I think one jump scare, it didn't get us in the moment. I don't know if it was because we were talking during the film or if it was because it came at an inopportune time. But there was a moment where he was looking in the mirror in a dream sequence, and his reflection like slams his hands on the table and like screams while he's just kind of standing there. That was a good scare that got me in the trailer, but I already saw it in the trailer, so I kind of knew that sequence of events and him wearing those clothes and standing in front of a mirror doesn't happen again for the entire film. So I knew from watching the trailer that moment was going to happen right there. I thought it was a cool creative scare, but it didn't necessarily make me jump.
Yeah.
Josh, you got anything?
I don't even remember how it happens or how it starts. I think maybe the first time you see the actual Jinn.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, maybe that was something.
Yeah.
The second time when he's in the other house, like, no one cares. Who cares? Like, well, the shot when he had gotten hit by the car, and he's like just laying on the ground. Nothing actually happens in the shot, but that, like, just the way
that was good.
The way that it was upside down, and you expected something to move, but it really didn't.
It was static for a very long time, and then it was sort of like, oh, is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? And then, like, right at the end of the shot, he has sort of like a blood gurgle gasp noise.
That was unsettling. That's probably that'll be my moment.
Yeah, that was a good shot. I appreciate that.
It was okay.
So we got Scare of the Week. We'll move on to Kill of the Week.
I feel like we're really digging here. We're really mining for gold. We are getting blood from a beat. Oh. Sorry, not to set up for our reviews.
You ruined the end.
I'm sorry. No, it was so good, scary. Ooh, hang on, 5 more minutes. Sorry. We're here.
All right. Kill of the Week.
Kill of the Week.
Tell us. You stopped me, so you give it to us.
It was this awesome. I don't even know what this guy is. I think he maybe is like a groundskeeper. Maybe neighbor maybe
he's like across the street.
And like I think he probably has this like he's the guy. Let me just kind of set the stage. Like he
owned the dog.
He owned the dog, and he's kind of the neighbor or the groundskeeper who like clearly has a little bit more of just a friendly relationship with the mom.
Yeah.
So like immediately you get the sense like this guy has been hedging on turf that isn't his for a while.
Not if you've seen Castle Rock, not unlike the character in Castle Rock who kind of does the same thing.
Yes.
It serves the same purpose.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And like and a lot of times like this character keeps the appropriate distance when the person is alive, but like as soon as it's deceased, like they're kind of moving in, and they are the support system, and so I don't think we have anything against this guy. Clearly, the son does,
right?
And he owns the dog who tries to scare us. Not scary, and there's a scene where he falls, and they kind of do this cut to this random it's kind of dark. Not well shot. I think it's maybe like a log sticking out of the ground, maybe a rock. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I believe it was wood of nature.
Yeah, and he falls, and you're like, oh, that impaled him somewhere. And then they show him, and it's like, oh wait, no, he's not impaled. He's a little
bloody. He's a little worse for wear.
Like it hit his face a little bit.
Yeah.
And then let us not forget, like 45 seconds earlier, there's a scene where we were literally laughing because it looks like a giant stick that you pick up in your backyard that someone is just shaking.
No, my 6-year-old would do it. He would pick up this big stick that's bigger than he is and just kind of shift it back and forth.
Yeah, you try to do the rubber pencil thing with like a 10-foot stick. And so we were all laughing. And then that rubber pencil stick thing impales our kind-hearted neighbor guy. And like it was the most ridiculous scene. It was the most ridiculous scene. But when you break down all the other kills, that has to get it.
Hands down, best one. Anything?
No.
Anything different? Okay, yeah.
Any other kill in the movie was.
Yeah. Definitely the best one. Okay, Josh, I'm gonna kick it to you. Let's go ahead and say our thumbs up, our thumbs down. Start hitting us with some nugget scale.
Oof.
For those of you that don't know, we kind of also rate movies yes or no, and then whoever can get the best 2 out of 3 will determine whether the movie gets the stamp or the seal of quality. That's not a stamp; it's a seal, guys. And then also, just for fun, we also kind of rate things by the Burger King 10 for $1 chicken nugget scale. How many chicken nuggets is this movie worth? So Josh, take us away.
I mean, it was a fun movie to watch with friends who also, I think, critique things in a similar manner, but there was very little redeeming qualities of this movie. The acting was poor. Oof. The casting was very suspect. Just a very shallow, kind of cheap feeling movie. Definite thumbs down. I would demand nuggets from the movie and not get them.
All right.
Next.
So you know what? I'm not trying to be contrarian here. I'm just trying to
do
put
it every week. Boo.
I'm trying to put it into a certain perspective. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. And I'm just going to say, okay, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up because for me, what I'm thinking when I give it a thumbs up is that I have watched a lot of really, really bad scary movies on Netflix, on Hulu, on whatever. This gets lumped up with those. But I would say that it might be in the top 25 percentile of those movies. So, I'm thinking of what's that movie that you watched and you told me not to watch, but you told me it was too late. It had I think it had Kate Beckinsale, where it was really
the
old.
Lady in the Window?
The Disappointments Room?
Not The Disappointments Room. We watched it together. This movie's better than The Disappointments Room.
Yeah.
It's maybe it wasn't Kate Beckinsale. I can't remember. It's on Netflix where it takes place a long time ago, and it's a ghost story in the 1600s or something weird, where she's kind of flirting with paranormal investigation before that's ever really a thing. She sets up the bells, and there's the little kid goes throws her the ball.
Yeah.
That movie sucked.
Yeah.
And I would watch this movie over that movie.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that this is a great movie. I'm giving it a thumbs up because in the pile of Netflix trash, it would float towards the top.
Yeah.
But
it's a good cranberry.
Yeah, but it's not currently available streaming on any platform that you probably own. I mean, we had to rent this on Vudu. It was $3.
Yeah.
It's not on Netflix. If it was on Netflix, I'd say, hey, watch a lot of the good stuff on Netflix that you can catch in one of our older episodes where we talk about the best on Netflix. Watch all that first, and then maybe get around to this movie. Oculus is another one on Netflix that's not great but pretty good. It kind of fits in with those. So I'll say 0 nuggets.
Yeah,
but it's still getting a thumbs up from me.
Yeah, I was about to ridicule you real hard. And then I remembered, I've watched this movie called Windmills on Netflix. They're Flatliners. I've watched some real turds recently.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and so there was a season in my life where I had nothing but time on my hands, and Josh equal, and so we watched some really crappy attempted scary movies together. I will still say at the end of the day, though, this thing does not get a thumbs up. Yes, it is a less stinky pile of shit, but it is still that. It is still unpleasant. It's not something you want in your cereal. This is not good. It's a bad movie.
We forgot to talk about the way he ate cereal.
No milk.
This guy ate cereal really weird.
And I think it was a product of his mom not having groceries. But anyway, this movie's not good. It's just the acting is poor. I think the concept. I really think the concept could be there.
Yeah.
And they really just underperformed, underproduced. I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe they didn't fit what they needed to accomplish within a 2-hour window. I don't know. But this movie is bad. It is not 2 nuggies. This is not one that you want to go and rent. This is not if you are desperate and you have nothing else and this movie lands in your mailbox. Okay. And you guys know me by now. I am a watch it and judge for yourself. This one, not perfect.
Yeah. It's definitely not great. So there you have it, guys. The Final Wish does not get the original Eek Seal of Quality. Also, it didn't go 3 out of 3 thumbs downs. So
It didn't.
There's something there. I think that if we have a 3 out of 3 thumbs down movie, we're gonna have to like make up a new like award for that to win.
Yeah.
Because usually at least one of us will find some redeeming quality.
Yeah,
but if
it's
we
true.
never do, that'll be an interesting bridge to cross when we get there. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening and for watching and just tuning into us. You can find more of us at eekchannel.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at eekchannel. We are currently at 451 followers on Instagram. When we hit 500, we will give away another horror Blu-ray to one of our followers totally for free. So just tell your friends about us and all that good stuff. Other than that, stay eeky out there.
Hey.